a lot of you guys seem to be starting on demo, and either you guys stay on demo for too long and go under analysis paralysis and try to treat demo like a funded account or a live account and stay on a demo account for 4, 5, 6, even up to like a year on demo, which I highly do not recommend, right? Or you guys end up switching too early, jumping straight to a funded, like asking me, oh, how much money do I need to put into account start? I want to start. How much money should I put into account? Is $200 enough to start? Is $1,000 enough to put into an account to make money? But the truth is, there's no reason for you guys to put money into an account and fund and trade with any sort of live money or risk on the line when you're just starting. Right. The analogy I like to give is imagine a a person who finds out about basketball. They find out about basketball. They're like, oh, this is a cool sport. They've never touched a basketball in their life. And the first thing they want to do is like, I want to go into a basketball game and play. Or if you guys know, or if you guys play soccer, whatever sport you play, imagine someone finds out about that sport, or if you find out about that sport and you've never touched a ball of that sport before, whatever equipment for that sport before, but you're saying, I want to go into a professional game and play on a team, even though I've never touched like the actual like stuff on this equipment on the sport. It's kind of crazy, right? You don't have the skill, you don't have the necessary, you don't have the knowledge and the experience to be able to play on a team. And if you're playing on a team, you're gonna make the team fall, and the performance is gonna suck. You're gonna make the team lose. So that's like the risk you have, right? That's kind of represents that live account that you're trading with, whatever you haven't even tried practicing on a demo account, you haven't worked on your skill of trading, right? The right approach would be, okay, I'm gonna go train on for example, I'll take basketball. Since I play basketball, I'm a reference basketball, but if you guys play soccer, football, whatever sport, you guys can imagine it's the same sport. So I've never played, I just found out about basketball. Instead of jumping into a professional team, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on a court, on a practice court where there's not that many people, and I'm going to try out dribbling, right? I'm going to get the ball, I'm going to dribble, I'm going to pay attention to how I'm dribbling, I'm going to watch some videos on how to properly dribble and critique my form, or I'll get a coach, I'll get someone to guide me and tell me what I should do and how I should actually learn and the best drills and practices to do to get me to understand basketball and become a good basketball trader in the fastest way possible, so I don't have to waste my time. Along with that, there's someone who keeps me accountable too. Right? This kind of represents the mentor in the trading space, someone to guide you, hold your hand, help you maximize your efficiency and effectiveness in learning the skill you want to do, so you can minimize the amount of obstacles you face and minimize the amount of time wasted and get to like being good at the skill, your end goal, as fast as possible. Right? That's exactly what a coach, a mentor, and honestly anything does in every realm, every sort of scenario. After I'm practicing and I'm starting to get pretty good at basketball, I'm getting the drills down, I'm doing dribbling pretty good, I can do some nice moves, I'm shooting pretty good, my form is not the best, but it's getting better, then maybe I'll think about putting myself in a scenario where I'm on the team, right? Just to put on that effort into a real world scenario where it actually matters and I can actually have take advantage of it, right? Shoot some points, win a team. Let's say I'm playing a tournament where there's like a cash prize at the end, for example, right? Perfecting my skill, making sure I'm good at it beforehand is going to help make sure I'm effective on the team, a good team player, a shooter on my own, a good dribbler, and everything else about the skills required for that specific sport. It's all going to help me. How do I improve this? By practicing, and not just practicing and reflecting on my practice, like how I dribble, not just randomly shooting, shoot balls. No, shooting and reflecting and understanding, okay, when I shoot my arm like this and I have my left hand protecting it, it does a lot better than without my left hand protecting it when I just try to shoot, for example, right? That's like a way of kind of reflecting. You go over your shots and you see when your shots perform better, what do you normally do? What is the techniques you use? And when they perform worse, what do you do? So you can avoid doing that again, right? Same concept can be applied to trading. You want to practice in a scenario where there's nothing on the line, where you can just focus on honing in on your skill and process, so that when the time comes when you're going into an actual live account, you're now focused on just executing the stuff that you learned in practice. Because if you have no experience in whatever you're doing, whether that be a sport or a skill or day trading, you put yourself in that scenario where you're out there, there's actual risk on the line, you're going to be a lot more leaning towards thinking about the risk because you don't have the skill to protect you from avoiding that risk, right? The skill you're learning helps you minimize that risk that's out there. But without that skill, without that experience, that risk is your main focus, right? Because you don't know what else to focus on. You don't have a process or a skill developed yet, okay? It's very, very easy for you to fall under and just go off the tracks and go on tilt, whatever, and just mess up completely and embarrass yourself and humiliate yourself. So This is why I recommend when you guys are starting out, always start on demo before you even think about doing anything, about even think about putting money into the market, right? Never think about putting money until, right? You should practice on demo until, first off, before I go into that, the first thing you should have when you're practicing on demo, these are the things you need to work on when you're on demo before you should switch to a funded or switch to a live account. Ideally, funded account, but live account if you guys want to go with that approach as well. What you should have is, first, you should have a system that you've backtested that shows profitable results in the past through FX Replay. And I have a video on that as well, breaking that down if you guys want to learn how to properly backtest with FX Replay, the best backtesting software in the game. Okay? FX Replay backtest a profitable strategy with a decent amount of trades, ideally over 50. Minimum over 50. 60 to 80 is kind of recommended. 100 plus is ideal. Okay? If you can do the more, the better. One of my students in my program has 250 trades backtested, and he has a still profitable statistic over the entire period of that. And that's over a year and a half, I think almost 2 year period, right? Of him just taking the trades and showing the results and showing that he can make this strategy work in the past and have the same statistic hold no matter what time window he's trading, no matter what time frame he's trading. Okay. Start on demo, find your strategy, develop rules, and backtest it. The second thing you want to be working on is psychology in the meantime. You can't necessarily prioritize only psychology, right? You have to do strategy and psychology. So psychology is something you're working on while you're also building your strategy, right? That's something that kind of takes experience to build. You're not going to get down psychology like that just by reading 5 books or watching 10 YouTube videos. This comes from just trial and error and execution and learning from losses and understanding mistakes and seeing what you do wrong and what you do right. And that also, you're not going to know that if you don't execute trades. So the psychology side of things comes with time. You can't force that all the time. For example, for me, it took a while for me to be able to handle losses and restrict myself from over trading. The reason being is because I just had to go through so many losses until the point in time came for me to where I was tired of just straight up losing. And I realized that when I just stick to my trading window and my rules, I don't go on tilt. Okay, I don't go on tilt. And that's kind of stupid simple. Why don't I just do that? And I had that aha moment that just clicked like that. And then from that point on, I've only been trading in my trading window, and I have not tweaked anything in my performance, and I've been doing really, really well. And the same concept should apply to you guys. You can't maximize and perfect your psychology immediately, right? It takes time to build. And it comes with experience, and it comes with trial and error, right? So the more time on the charts, not necessarily more trading you do, but the more time on the charts, the more you're focused on learning is what I kind of mean to lean towards. The more hours you put towards learning is when your psychology is going to start to perform better, right? If you slack off, you trade once a week and you barely look at the charts, your psychology is not going to be better because you're not even practicing. You're not even honing in your skill. It's like saying a basketball player, he maybe watches a bunch of videos, but he's actually practicing and actually on the court for an hour a week max. Okay, he's not like understanding his techniques. Okay, you guys need to be actively reflecting and understanding and trying to learn from your losses. And a really good component from this is journaling. Okay, you guys need to be able to understand how to journal and how to properly journal. And my video will help you guys understand that. The journaling video part of the Trading Blueprint series will help you understand how to properly journal so you can master your trading psychology, learn from your losses, learn how to stay disciplined and minimize your emotions whenever you're trading, and a lot more as well. So when you guys are trading, always journal once you're done trading once you're done with your trading session. Or it would ideally be better after your specific trade you take if you're not if you don't need to be very focused on the chart. Ideally, what you can do is track win or loss and take a picture of the trade, and then later you can go back and elaborate more on your thought process, your overview, kind of how you could have improved or what you did right, what you did wrong, if your emotions got into play and affected your thought process, and that will help kind of find where your weak points are and your strong points. Okay, that's all part of the skill of the demo trading purpose, right? Next, along with this, you should be working on discipline, right? It's such a simple concept. Just follow your rules and don't do anything outside your rules. But it's so easy to break. It's so easy to want to try something new, FOMOing, potentially seeing your setup work out earlier and missing out, getting a late entry when you can. Sometimes I see it when it happens earlier. I'm just going to enter earlier, not following my rules that I've backtested, and take a completely different strategy because now I'm entering with 3 rules instead of 5 rules, right? When you enter with not all your rules being met, you're entering with a completely different strategy. And that's what we don't want to, we want to avoid that. We want to take only trades that line up with the strategy that we backtested and the rules we have set for ourselves, because that's how we can allow the probabilities for our backtested strategy to play out. And it takes time for you to realize how important discipline is. The earlier you can understand it, the better. But if you're able to get this down earlier, be grateful, because a lot of people, including me, take a while to get this down. So we covered trust psychology. We covered building your strategy, having a set in stone rules based strategy where it's profitable in a backtest, right? That should be the first thing you should be working on while you're on demo, and trading that in a live market after you have that strategy, right? And if you don't have a strategy, you can figure that out by finding a framework and just through trial and error, take trades on a chart and kind of track what works and what doesn't work for you, and what style you like to trade and certain criteria that you like to trade off of. In the beginning, your trading is not going to look clean, right? It's not going to look perfect. It's going to look a little bit messy, right? That's how exactly mine was when I was building my strategy that I've been using to this day to keep me profitable, consistently profitable. Initially, when I was developing the strategy, it was really, really messy. I was taking 10 to 30 trades a day, trying to find what works, because I knew I really liked trading trend following, right? Because before I worked on my momentum strategy, I was trading around 2 years before that. I traded a number of different strategies, and I always knew I liked trading on trend following strategies. So I decided to scrap everything on my chart, go on a plain chart, and just take trades that kind of align with where my brain likes to enter trades. Okay, aligning with trend following, and I didn't know it at the time, but it was aligning with momentum as well. So I took advantage of those trades. I realized that my best trades happen when we have momentum in one direction, we have strength, and we have strong trend. We have clear trend. Okay, when we got caught up in chop, that's when I ended up fumbling and ended up losing trades. So over time, after taking many trades and kind of refining my strategy and making it more restrictive to a specific set of rules and criteria, that's when I started seeing some consistency play out. Right? I built that strategy through forward testing, and then I went and back tested it, and it ended up giving me some good results as well. So I continuously use it in the real-time market, and that was how I built my strategy. Now, the second thing, psychology, right? We just covered that a little bit. That comes with time. You can't have that happen overnight. Really good resources online for you to understand that. We have Mark Douglas, a very, very good person, popular figure in the trading space who talks about psychology. Tom Hugard is another one. I also talk a little about trading psychology as well. And overall, psychology is not going to be just built from YouTube videos. That's going to come with time of just trial and error and you executing on the chart. Okay. Number 4. 4 was 3 or 4? Okay, with strategy, psychology. Third was discipline, right? Making sure you execute based off your rules and not FOMOing and not taking stuff that doesn't align with your strategy and your rules. Because when you're trading stuff that doesn't align with your strategy and the rules that you've tested, you're trading a completely different strategy, right? Now, instead of trading a strategy where you have your 4 entry checklists, you're trading a strategy where you have only 3 entry checklists. And you've never backtested a strategy and know the probabilities and the win rate and risk reward of your strategy with only your first 3 criteria being met. You only backtested with the first 4 being met. So you're pretty much trading a completely different strategy, and you're hoping the statistics line up, and you're hoping that, again, this trade is going to be a winner. And you're going to be like, oh, if this trade loses, you're going to be like, oh, this trade lost. Oh my God, the strategy doesn't work anymore. So that's a completely flawed mindset to have, because you can't judge every single trade on a trade by trade basis. Right? You have to look at it as a bigger picture, because we're trading based off of probabilities. That's exactly what trading is. A 60% win rate means you're winning on average 60 out of 100 trades and losing 40 out of 100. And you don't know the exact sequence of wins and losses. You just know that over a long period of time, over 100 trades, on average, you're going to have 60 winners and 40 losers. Now, you might see 5 winners in the beginning. You might even see 5 losses in the first 5 trades, right? Depending on, for example, each person, right? It's not going to look the same pathway of wins and sequence of wins and losses for each person. If we knew the sequence of wins and losses, I promise you we would avoid the losses, but that's not the way trading works. That's not the way statistics and probabilities work. We can't just avoid the losses and predict which one's going to be lost and which one's going to be a winner. But what we can do is analyze our trades on a larger horizon, okay, larger time horizon. So next, number 4, after discipline, I would say risk management is another very key component. Risk management meaning understanding how to size your positions, how to properly enter positions with the right amount of risk, risking, for example, a consistent amount of percentage per your for your account, or having a plan on how you're going to dynamically risk, right? If you're risking around 1% to 3% of your account per trade, and the higher probability of a trade, the more kind of higher probability it is you're going to enter heavier, that's totally fine. And that takes experience to build, right? You're not going to know what's high probability and low probability, right? Right from starting out your strategy, starting to use your strategy. Over time, over using your strategy, you're going to build that experience of knowing what is a good A+ trade and what is a kind of like an A level, almost like an A- trade. You're going to kind of figure that part out through experience and through trial and error. But if all those A level trades are profitable, then you would enter dynamically and heavier on the ones that you're more confident in, and less and kind of lower on the ones that you're a little not less confident in, but still confident, but not as much as the A+ ones, right? So, but when you're first starting off, I 100% recommend that you guys should enter with consistent risk position sizing, because it's not as easy to identify what is A+ and what is not A+, because that's the experience side of your brain coming into work. You can't really explain why fully it's A+. It's kind of your intuition, it's your discretionary instinct, it's your gut feeling in the subconscious brain, understanding all the patterns that's been happening in the price and in the trades that you've had. Understanding, okay, I have more confidence in this trade, but I can't fully break down in logical reasoning why. I just know I have more confidence in it because I've seen this type of setup form, and the way everything's coming together is similar to how this type of trade performs the best. So you go heavier on that trade, okay? And even those, I of course will align with all of your rules, okay? That's gonna be well, we didn't finish risk management. That was more probabilities, but for risk management, you want to be able to enter all your trades with the proper risk sizing, right? Knowing how much you're going to enter with a small percentage of your account every single trade, not over leveraging, not oversizing randomly because you want to make your money back, right? Understanding that factor. We're not here to make our money back. We're here to execute our strategy and its edge and profit from it, not try to make our loss into a green every single day, because there aren't going to be green days every single day. Just like the probabilities mindset I told you before, you can't expect every trade to be a winner, every trade to be a loser. Right? It's probabilities. It's a game of probabilities. I've had weeks where I have like no trade. I've had weeks where I have only losing trades. And I've had weeks where I've only had green trades. But if I look at over a larger term horizon, for example, quarter to quarter or even year to year, I will see my win rate play out for my strategy. Right? It will be more accurate because I'm looking at a larger sample of data. Okay? That pretty much sums up risk management side of things. Not crazy dynamic sizing, right? Not out of nowhere trading like 10 minis and then one time going to 5 micros for it because you're scared that you're going to lose your money. You can't be scared in the markets. You have to be ready to execute your edge when the setup happens, taking advantage of your full system. Okay, when the setup shows up, following all your criteria, you take that, right? You don't hesitate, right? That's what you guys need to do. Whenever you guys have all 4 of these down, that's when I recommend you should switch over to a funded account. Whenever you see your strategy, you've built your strategy, you're executing off of rules, you're not making any stupid mistakes, your psychology is being built, you're not perfect at it yet, but you're also not the worst, you're not making stupid mistakes, you're not FOMOing, you're not entering emotionally, at least most of the time you're not. Maybe a very small portion you go until that happens. Okay, you got to pick yourself back up and continue. Third, you're entering with discipline. You're always following the rules whenever you see your setup. You're entering only trades that align with your strategy and nothing else. Okay, if they don't follow your rules, you're not entering. Plain and simple. If you missed the trade, you're not taking it. It's all good, right? You missed it. It is what it is. You're not going back to try to FOMO entering back into it. Number 4, risk management. You're always knowing the exact risk you're entering per trade. You have a plan on how much you're going to risk consistently. You're not oversizing and over leveraging randomly, and you're staying with a consistent risk position sizing strategy, right? Because our risk management method is almost like a different strategy of its own. We need to know how to properly do that. Okay. Once you have all 4 of these down, you should transition to a funded account. You shouldn't stay on demo. When you transition to a funded account, you start to see you go on tilt, your mindset gets affected, you see you're kind of trading a little more emotionally. Then you transition back to demo, and you, along with that, you reflect on why you went on tilt. Why did you incorporate emotions? Was it the money getting into your head? Were you over leveraging? If usually you find yourself, usually it's going to be from over leveraging, and in that case, you want to size down. Okay, you want to size down on your trades or switch back to demo till you build that confidence back, see the data on your strategy play out, and then have that confidence by knowing that my strategy works out in the past and it's going to ideally work out in the future as well. Okay. So you guys shouldn't be on demo for longer than like 2 months max. Okay. You guys should be on demo for around 1 week. I'm talking about demo as in like you're consistently on demo, putting in work towards learning and trading, right? Consistent demo trading for 1 week minimum to 2 months maximum, right? I'm saying the reason I give such a wide range is because some people have a lot more time and they put in a lot of that work earlier and they get down the psychology a lot sooner and discipline side of things and find the strategy a lot sooner. And some people take longer, right? 2 months max should be your period for trading on demo, because at the end of that 2 month mark, you probably have your strategy down somewhat. You probably have your psychology down somewhat, at least like somewhat decent amount. You also have discipline, good understanding of discipline. But there's so many resources out here. If you've been watching the entire series, you will probably have a good understanding of psychology, discipline, risk management, and how to manage your emotions and build your strategy, right? If you just watch my guide, you will be able to get that set up in less than 2 months, 100% guaranteed. Okay, you understand risk management, psychology, discipline, strategy building, right? Strategy building, psychology, discipline, risk management. You have a good understanding of all of those, and you're not letting your trades get to your head. Okay. Don't stay on demo for too long. Be ready to transition, and don't be afraid, right? You can't be scared. Scared money don't make money, right? The saying, it's kind of cheesy, but it's true. You got to be ready to execute and have confidence in your edge. There's going to be times where you execute with full confidence and it's going to lose. Why? Because of probabilities. The only thing we can control is that we made sure we executed our trades following all of our rules and making sure that we're letting our probabilities play out by following the exact rules that we took in our backtest. So we make sure our true win rate and our risk reward will play out. Okay. That's all I got for you guys for this video. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments about transitioning from demo to funded. Hopefully you guys gained some value from this video. I heard a lot of people asking this specific question, and I knew it was a really, really important topic to cover because a lot of you guys come into the space, don't know how much money to put into an account, and think you should just jump into a real live account or funded account. Or some of you guys are confused on when is the right time to transition from a demo to a funded. And hopefully this video explained that in depth to you guys. So if you have any questions, drop it down below. I'll get to it. So take care, guys.